Hello Gambia. Your television experience is about to be transformed to the next level. Enjoy amazing features with the new DTT decoder by XCAF. Watch television in high definition and excellent sound quality. Watch Gambian channels such as GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise TV and MTA with one decoder, all for free. That's not all. For a monthly subscription of $510, you get 60 international channels from your favorite football leagues, news, African movies, telenovelas, cartoons and much more. Get the decoder for $2,040, which comes with free installation, 24/7 customer and technical support all year round, and 1 month free subscription for only $510 thereafter. Get the decoder at XCAF Gambia, located at Hendon Court Building, former Dream Park, Senegambia, or through approved dealers. For more info, call 446-1060 or 446-1061. The world is at your fingertips with the XCAF DTD decoder.
Falindir balle bina sotola alka television jube nyameng escaf Gambia ye DTT decoder kutamal lenati dameng alse GRTS QTV Star TV Paradise TV ani MTA be soto min na natalol anin kuma kangol be senearing lew andung ite fenjola DTT decoder akesan dalasi wuli fula ani dalasi tanani dronga andung ibe sola karikilina ye bantala bankol la channel jama jube andung ite kodi wo kodi jola ni la fita ka continue ka min siata ye channel tan woro la jube katake ye subscribe wolom kari kari ibe dalasi kemelulu ani dalasi tan donne jola ise football league channelol be jube news African movies telenovela film dima balu musical ani cartoon pour dindingol alta DTT decoder sang escaf la showroom mimbe Senegambia wotumo dream park be dame warang ila agentol minul be banko kan ani kumandi 446-1060 446-1061.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dave, can you all hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Hello, Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah. Can you hear me?
Ensa Touray, can you hear me?
Yes,
I think Doctor will come back again. Yes, I think our viewers will be very happy today. They see you in face. They keep demanding, where is Ensa? Doctor, how are you?
Fine.
Doctor. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very, very clearly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so viewers of Gunjuru News TV, Gunjuru Online TV, as you can see, we also make a small change. We are now TV instead of Gunjuru News Online. So welcome to another episode of Salagi, the turning point for KOMBO. But today we are discussing issues that are pertinent. They are right now having a negative impact on the people of West Coast region. We cannot only say when you like, if you discuss Sirifo Sonko and the impasse that is going on at BAC is affecting the entire West Coast region. But we also hear Talib Bensouda, inquiring about the borders, between KMC and West Coast region. These have far, far, far-reaching implications, both historical and financial implications. So we'll be discussing that. And also, unfortunately, we've seen a revenge porn, I'll call it, if I'm not sure if that's the nice name, involving a prominent Kombonka. And these have political implications, and they have social implications. We will discuss in it. Nothing is going beyond this. And I'll ask four of you, any of you have anything that you think we should talk about? That affect the people of Combo and is pertinent. I will add it to the list.
Um, they said there is Kabilo in Sukuta who I don't think they came out to discuss about what has happened to their land.
Yeah.
And since they have not come out, I don't want to reveal the name of the Kabilo, but there is a particular family or a Kabilo whose lands were taken from them. And they've been going back and forth, and nothing has been resolved. So I may have to go back to Fatu Manneh. But you have reminded me, as an educator, I am very concerned about the passage rate of the 9th grade and the WIAC examinations in the West Coast region. And I'm asking whether too much NAWEC competition has any effect on that. Because the control combon call bikata karangola. But nali ajibe ning NAWEC wolo nada. Bedun to school the competition of between the schools lady. But say notice competition used to be what? Between what? Competition sign school all along, Satelu districts. And in Tamala, I don't know, I talked to an education officer in Kaiko, will he be willing to help us with the statistics to see whether Satel Minka Nawitan win for a passage rate 5G Teleban Fasel. So I'm very, very much concerned about being Nawe competition. But Niman time, so that maybe we can try to talk about that in the future.
Yeah, I listed it down.
Good. Thank you.
So if you have any data, am I the one echoing?
Is it me?
Yeah, might be you. You open two screens, right? Do you open this in Facebook? Okay, it's definitely doctor, so that is fine. Dr. Ensa Touray, can you briefly introduce yourself to viewers of Gunju TV online?
Okay, I think people are actually familiar with me. My name is Ensa Touray, originally from Gunjur.
Can you speak up a bit, or you get closer to your mic?
My name is Ensa Touray. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, yes.
My name is Ensa Touray, originally from Gunjur. I'm currently in Nigeria, stranded in lockdown, but actually, as I told you before, and I am physically away, but spiritually and our imagination are actually in touch with the people of Gambia, especially those of Kombo. And we are trying to see how best we can actually restore the dignity of Kombo in order to attract the attention, or it serves as a kind of a threat. But I am going to tell people that our re-emergence in the affairs of the Gambian situation should not be actually serve as a threat to anybody, but we are trying to reclaim the history that we actually created in the past. And if you look at the intervention of our elders, elders like Pa Famara Wasature, Ba Jumbo Bojang, Sanjani Bojang, and struggle to make sure that they actually lead us, our people, to independence. And then that actually led Sir Dawda Jawara to be given the opportunity to lead the Gambia. But we understand that in all the three political phase or epoch, KOMBO has been actually deprived, marginalized, and they have been actually designing so many exclusionary tactics to make sure that we are stunted politically, and that political constraint may lead to economic constraint. Because now, as I told you, Gambia has not actually taken any stage, any form of safety to actually situate or transform industrially. So central government will be the means through which individuals use to do everything against Kombonke. So our coming here is to make sure that our dignity is restored, either by recognizing us, by accepting or by accommodating, or else we sit at the decision-making table to make sure that Kombo's dignity and Kombo's is his position within the context of Gambian politics. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ensa, for that brief introduction.
Are you hearing
me? Yes, very well. Yeah, Dave, brief introduction to our new viewers of Gunyur Online TV.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is DF Manneh. I'm originally from Burfoot. I live in the UK. This brilliant initiative been set up by Ahmed, started by Ahmed Manjang, obviously. So it gave us an opportunity to come here and exchange ideas. And hopefully people like you who watch us as well can interact with us and pose questions to us and also suggest ideas. That's what it is, really. Nothing more than that. So we're all here. We just like everybody in KOMBO. You know, we're all the same. We are in the same boat. We're trying to pull our resources together, both intellectual, physical, whatever. You know, so we have to come together, combine our resources, and try and improve the lot of our people back home. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dave. As usual, anytime you knock at your door, you are always available either here or in the WhatsApp forums. And also, me and Dave, only two of us will be doing a program on Saturday, inshallah, 3 p.m. There are very, very important issues. Tough Mustafa Njai raised during his last interview with the Fatu networks. And the family most affected in Brufut are the Manneh Kunda, so Dave will come and clarify certain issues. So Saturday, 3 o'clock Gambia UK time. I think that will be like 1 p.m. in the Gambia. I don't know. We'll publicize this anyway in the forums. So Dr. Prof, can you, your microphone is mute anyway. Can you introduce yourself again, once again? Sorry about it.
Okay, well, I'm Dr. Conteh, originally from Farawa, Banta, born in Pirang, Daranding. I'm here in the United States. I teach accounting and finance. I have been in the struggle, I can even say since I graduated from high school, wanted to be an NCP candidate for KOMBO East constituency. After elections, I did not run because it was given to someone else who lost the election. Then again, the PPP thugs, you know, every time I went, they were after me. And thank God I was able to come to the United States. And ever since Sadada was overthrown, I was again in the opposition, starting on Gambia. And now we're finding ourselves again with the new government. I'm still in the opposition. But I do like it because I think that the best thing to do is to broaden our horizons, to have different agendas and so forth. But again, despite the fact that we are away from our individual towns and villages, we as Kombonkers should be very, very concerned about what is going on. Remember when we were growing up, people used to go to the riverside to cut down some bamboos to put on their roofs and even the fence. Now you see gradual intrusion of sand in the rice fields. And all of us, equally, I do believe, we benefited from farming, whether it is groundnut farming, whether it is a rice field or your parents going to the garden. And these are issues that now someone even told me even tomatoes and onions are imported from Senegal. So our people who are selling stuff at the market now. They've seen, their profits going down and so forth. You couple that with sand mining, which has irreversible damage to the environment. We should be very careful with that. And again, this land selling is something, and it's not only KOMBO now, because look at who would have ever thought that Nyanija, all the way in the interior of the country would have such a problem. Who would have thought that two villages, Waleba Kunda and Touray, I believe someone told me it's either lower Fuladu or upper Fuladu. Those two villages, young kids went out there fighting each other with cutlasses and so forth. So you notice that this is not an isolated case in KOMBO. So I tell some of my friends who are from upriver to tell them, even though you are living in KOMBO, you need to pay a visit to your town of origin, your village of origin, to know what's going on. Look at all these Indians and Chinese going out there buying land, and Gambians are left cold. I just looked at, I'm going to stop very soon. Yesterday, I posted something about global properties, and because I talked about TAF, I can talk about global. They are renting a 4-bedroom for $900,000. Tell me who can afford that in the Gambia. And someone also posted something that someone is selling a 30 by, is it 14 by 30 or something like that? They were selling it for $1 million in Bigelow. So what is happening? And then you have another guy who is out there buying land in Sanyang next to the sea, and no one has even said anything about it. I talked to someone in the village development committee. Up till to this day, this guy is adding meters upon meters, and very soon, guess what's going to happen? I love my African American brothers and sisters, but let me tell you, if this guy is able to succeed to have at least 1,000 meter by 1,000 meter in Sanyang, they're going to have a village there, and you will all live to regret it. So I think we as Gambians should be able to talk to our family members and the alcalos, the Kabilo heads and so forth, to say we are now in July. When they come to you to sell something to you, please be literally careful. So let me stop here now, and we can continue on with our engagement.
Yeah, you're going to get this ball rolling. You're not escape yet. But of all what you mentioned, the most pertaining which concern us right now is the Sanyang issue. I think we'll have another day to discuss this. I've seen the video, I've seen this African American, and even before those videos, last year around September, I was around that in investigating about this bland sand mining. But somebody pointed to me, this area is for Black Americans. They're trying to build a village there. That was last year. So it's something that's real. They meet the alkali. They was like, in fact, a group of them meet with the villagers. Even though youths, what you are talking about, send something like that, they're not happy about it. But that's why we have this platform, to educate our people so that the news can filter through. That land is something that you can't just dispose of like that. And there are other ways, as Dave mentioned last time. You don't give it to them freehold. Let them rent it off you 50 years down the line, you come back to your kids. So these things, most Gambians, personally, I don't know before Dave mentioned that. If I knew that like a year or so ago, I will suggest this to my family when they are selling their land to them. But today, what is important, we have seen Sirifo Sonko. For the past 1 year, he fall out with the government. And this is West Coast region suffering. Is a problem. I wouldn't say we are partly responsible, because we follow the political colors error. And what can we learn from this Sirifo Sonko's debacle? Because this is something, as the saying goes, it was given to us by UDP, and West Coast region vote on party line, and he ended up in there. And we know from the word go, he's not up to the job. He's incompetent. And now we have party politics. There is an impasse. And we've seen the state of Brikama market. Doctor, first, who is this Sirifo Sonko, and how do we end up, with him and this situation?
Well, Sirifo Sonko is from Tubakuta, which is in my district, KOMBO is. And I warned UDP people, even at the initial stage, because the guy was a driver. So you notice that, we have to call out UDP. UDP is known to put incompetent people in place. But can I tell you one thing? With the emergence of NPP, if Sirifo Sonko is dismissed, if you leave Brikama and you get all the way to Mandinaba, if you make your right at the police station, right there, like you're going to Silit, we call that Narang. I know Brikama people call KOMBO is Narang, but we also call that area Narang. And historically, when I was growing up, I could say to you that no one went to primary school in Tubakuta. And I could tell you also that no one went to primary school in Basori. So you have these hamlets there that are predominantly they have Quranic schools there and so forth. So if they get if UDP ever dismisses this guy and the guy loses his position there, the whole of Nara, I can predict you 80% of them, they are not going to look at whether Sirifo was incompetent. They're going to look at the fact that they dismiss him and they are going to turn to NPP. And let me also warn UDP, if you go to Jiboro Koto, especially Jiboro Koto, it's predominantly Fulani. I'm telling you, and they have 3,400 registered voters in that area. And let me tell you, those people will vote at least 90%, and that 90% is going to go to NPP. Now you look at today with the rumor that APRC is going to join NPP. Well, you know that SOM is also part of Narang, as we call it. They're going to vote solidly for the candidate. But again, the thing is that for the life of me, what I don't understand, why dismiss the guy when you only have how many, with the 2 years left? Because to me, Serifo is very arrogant. I even wrote to him, he would never respond to me. Again, the people in the market. I watched the video. This was somebody going around asking them about Sirifo Sonko. And it's not like somebody was in UDP or someone was somewhere else. They said that the guy never even came to even meet with them to talk about what they need to do and so forth. But again, what I'm saying is that I think, in my view, West Coast region is too large. I think Sanamentering should have their own administrative area. Because if you look at the population of, let me say KOMBO North, if you look at the composition or the population of KOMBO North, it's more than the population of CRR. So if CRR can have its own administrative area, KOMBO North has more people living there than Lower River Division, they call Mansa Conco. So these are things that we should talk about to say that the people who are paying taxes, can you believe do you know how many $10 million houses are in Sanamentary? Do you know that those people who are paying the property tax, they pay the same amount with those folks who have houses in the inner city in Brufut? Is that fair? So again, let me remind Gambians, yes, Sirifo Sonko is from my constituency. Sirifo Sonko doesn't have the academic credentials or the competence to be the chairman of our area. But already he's there. It's no point to get rid of him, because if Sirifo Sonko loses that position, I'm telling you, that Narang, 80% of them will gravitate towards Barrow. And UDP will never, ever get that position. So, again, I think that they are playing with fire, because Fonyu also is going to go with whatever candidate they have. So, tell me where UDP stands. Again, our area in West Coast region, we don't have competent people to run the affairs of our administrative area. And someone told me almost all the hotels, majority of the hotels are where in what? In Sacramento.
We will come to that.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you here is that I do not support the idea of getting rid of Sirifo Sonko when he only has 2 years left. I don't.
Okay. So thank you. I'll go to Dave. Dave, now they're trying to get rid of him anyway, and probably they will succeed. But nobody knows how long this will take. What do you think are the social and economic implications for the people of Kombo? This impasse we are having, plus the incompetence of the man himself. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Conteh. I mean, yeah, we can talk about the personality. We can talk about the man efficiency, which it seems very obvious to me. But I think fundamentally we seem to have a problem of governance in the Gambia, really. I mean, we don't have structures, we don't have the functions that work. So, is that from my end or your end? I'm not sure.
Let me see what is from my end.
Okay. No. This problem. I mean, I know a lot of people say Sirifo has not been to school. Yeah, fine, but I live in the UK for a very long time now. And there was a prime minister in this country before I came in. I was here, John Major. John Major was just a bus driver, bus conductor. He had only GCSE O levels, and he was able to run this country just because we had structure. So the past qualification really didn't matter that much if we have got proper structures in place. But because we don't have these proper structures in place, that's why it's good for people to be in Sirifo's position, to have some bit of administrative background at least. But if you come there like political appointment, you have no skill set at all to even function properly. You don't have anybody behind you, like in your office, in your team, who will work properly for you. Then this is the problem we have. So some of it has got to do with a cultural issue. That goes back to structures, lacking structures, not having properly defined functions. So when it comes to Sirifo, again, it's having a negative effect on Kombo because number one, you can see Brikama market. I mean, at least Brikama even got a market. I mean, the Sukut and Brufut, what they've got, you wouldn't even consider a market anywhere. Number one.
And add Gunjur that, so that.
And these are very, very major towns in that area. So, I mean, we need a whole structural change in the play. Sometimes it's so overwhelming when you think about it. It's like, how are we going to fix this? It's so big, but we can do it. And we started bit by bit, like people not accepting mediocrity, not accepting the acceptable. Now, people tolerate a lot of intolerance. Their tolerance threshold is just so high. I just don't understand it. Really, really. They tolerate a lot. I mean, what is happening in Brikama has got implications for health. Obviously, we all seen that. But it seems to be a thing each year. It's like a ritual. Each year, rains will come, the Brikama market will start flooding. You see all sort of influence in there, and then people start complaining again. Afterwards, everyone just forgets and move on. But I just want to bring something in here. That's why I like organizations. I mean, last year we had this Occupy BAC in Brikama. These guys were able to achieve so much within a very, very short period of time. They were the ones that actually forced Brikama Area Council to go all the way to China, even though they didn't follow due process, to try and grab some trucks and stuff. But they didn't follow any due process. But somebody forced them to act. But unfortunately, people in the Gambia, in Kombo, they didn't think that it was a Western Division, really, or West Coast region. They didn't feel it was necessary to co-opt these people. They were very, very effective. So they've just gone completely. So actually, if you got like organizations like Brikama Area Council, there are some things they are going to be unable to do because they have to follow formalities. So this is why you need these organic bodies to be more rebellious. And then it serves a dual purpose because these organizations like Kombo Iruakafo, it gives them a leeway to say, we don't know what they're saying or what they're doing, they're not part of us. But you see what they achieve, their achievement, it takes us very, very far. All right, thank you.
Dave, you mentioned the trucks. I can tell you the trucks have been picked from Brikama Area Council where they are nobody knows, and how they were acquired nobody knows. So that's why I bring this Sirifo issue, because while this impasse is on, the trucks have been removed. You ask the local councillors there, where are the trucks? Why? And since they've been there, they never worked. So why they never been put to use? These are questions. nobody knows. So now we have this impact. They've been taken away from them anyway. So, but as I'm going to give you a political questions, we end up with Sirifo because people vote for him. What do you think we can do as people of Kombo to make sure that, you know, we are not being served futu nantango all the time, and we just go through party lines and keep them in, because we vote for them. But what can we do as people of Kombo? Now we have more than enough competent and informed people. When political parties come with this kind of people, what do you think we can do as people and community to make sure we do?
Thank you. This is a very, very important question, Ahmed. Are you people hearing me first?
Yeah, we are hearing you very good.
First of all, we need to understand that it's a reflection of general national politics in the Gambia. You have to understand that the parties do not actually have competence if you look at the whole thing. And if actually the parties that actually represent a kind of ideological program do not have competence or even time to actually implement some of these things, actually parties cannot produce people with capacity to actually take care of the administration of the local government. First of all, people who are competent to actually man the affairs of the people within the local government areas must be the people who actually conceptualize decentralization policy. If the decentralization policy is not understood by the candidates that are brought in, parties themselves and the party leaders themselves don't actually rationalize decentralization policy. And that is why we say that if parties are actually representing actually an ideological pathway, or they are assuming an ideological position, they must be able to actually create a kind of a research committee to understand that all issues and structures of the government and the nation must be actually conceptualized for them to be able to train and build capacity internally for the members. So parties just produce people based on their allegiance, based on their alignment, and based on their commitment to the party, and produce those kind of people to be leading our institutions. So what Kombo should do right now, Kombo should be defiant when it comes to party politics. Kombo and Western region in general should look at who can actually man the affairs of the people, who can actually transform West Coast region, especially become an area country, and the person must be a person who actually have the capacity and competent to rationalize the decentralization policy to be able to create that autonomy through consultation and advice. So what Kombo West Coast region should do is to make sure that whenever party produce their candidate based on their own requirement that has nothing to do with the supply of competent to transform the West Coast region, especially Kombo Ruakafo, if they are committed, or any agency or any other group can come up with an independent personality. Here, in terms of transformation, we need a thinking personality to effect change. Once that is not produced, we will never be able to transform, become a council. Because you need capacity, for example, to understand the resource base of West Coast region. Once that is not there, they will not. Because we have to understand that if we talk about C4, we need to avoid C4 right now and talk about UDP came up with C4. So two people vie for that position, C4 and I think Mr. Sane.
Baba X,
but
yeah.
That actually symbolizes that these parties do not actually have but this symbolizes that these parties do not have required competence to produce manpower necessary or required to transform our local government. So our local government leaders who do not understand the policies, the centralization policy, they could not even challenge the central government to make sure that power is completely transferred to people without the interference, which is very, very important. Because if you look at the West Coast region and you look at the revenue base, we should not talk about Brikama market right now. Brikama market at this point in time is bigger than the whole Western region. In the market, we don't go like this. We have to go like this now. And secondly, what we need to do as people of West Coast region, let's try to identify And let's try to build capacity for people to be managing this position. Even if you actually send somebody with capacity. But what they say is very, very important. Who are those working behind? You need your CEO, for example, and CEO are even supplied by the local government. At this point in time, it means that government has a level of control in the management of local government, which is very, very wrong. And what type of local councillors are we sending to become area councillors? Level of their capacity and their qualification, who will always effectively constrain and restrain that administrative position itself to take care of affairs. So once we know that parties do not have competence, because these parties, whether UDP, NPP, or whatever, they don't have required capacity right now to produce any better candidate, because they cannot even produce any national candidate for vote. So what we need to do, West Coast region should actually intensify mobilization and identify competence in terms of sending area councillors, in terms of selecting chairman, because even if a chairman has, but if the institutional structure is not there, institutional strengthening is very important in consolidating a very, very strong governance system. Once that is it is void of that, there is no way. So West Coast region need to defy partisan line right now. We need to defy partisan line and create our own pathway in our struggle or in our quest to actually restore standard in the governance of our local government. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ensa, as usual, for that personal presentation. Basically, to summarize that, you need the people of KOMBO, for us to progress, we need to defy partisan political line. We need to identify people within us we think they are capable. And if we present to this, or if these political parties didn't select them, we can put them as independent candidate and go that line. I think we've seen that in Europe. It's not surprising. You see the last general election in England, Labour-owned people, some people voted against Labour, and they even campaign against them because, the policy they put forward in front of these people, they are not satisfied with that. Still with West Coast region, I'm going to say West Coast region because this is about us and Fonyi. We hear Talibu Bensouda speaking to Panderi Touray recently, and he put some previous mayors of KMC together, to basically still their brain about the borders of KMC, the borderline between KMC and West Coast region. And these have serious implication. And it came at a time when West Coast region is seriously distracted, because we have this impact, if it is about politics. And this boy came in and said, okay, you know what, I need Yankuba Touray, I need this guy, I need this guy. For us to find a permanent borderline for KMC. So, Doctor, I'm going to come to you first. You are mute.
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, that's the topic of discussion. This border is what it means for West Coast region, and also maybe if you can throw historical background to this borderline issue between KMC and West Coast region, because 43 of all the hotels in the west in that part of the world belongs to West Coast region. And the demarcation issue, if it didn't go well, we can use very sensitive economic zones. Thank you.
Well, I went to St. Augustine's High School, and I can tell you that I saw envelopes because the Catholic mission was in Carnifing. And it used to say KOMBO St. Mary Western Division. And if we go back to how votes were done in the Gambia before independence, it was Banjul, Serekunda, and Bakau. So as a result of that, I also saw a sign that says Carnifing Magisterial District. That was actually part of Western Division. the commissioner of Western Division was directly in charge of canvassing. Now, let's go back, because we used to have a gentleman who used to take us to school. The man used to drive all the way from Brufut to Bakau. Now, you remember when you're coming from Bakau, where the Senegambia is now, I believe the sooner you cross the intersection between in Serakunda, I think if you drive no less than, I'm not sure, but 200 meters or even once say 500 meters, you were entering where Western Division. So the survey department surveyed that place, and the area that we still have as part of West Coast region cannot be changed by Talib's manipulation. But yes, you're right. Since we have all these issues going on in West Coast region, and we don't have any person who is looking at administratively, then someone comes in. But I can assure you, I think Taliban is just talking, because the people that he assembled to assist him in the demarcation, none of them came from KOMBO. Number one, the former mayor, Jallo, came from Bullock. He used to stay in Bununga Kunda when he was going to school. Of course, my own cousin, Mayor Conteh, came from Primary Street in Banjul. So Yankuba, if I'm not mistaken, originally came from either Kafuta or Fonyi. So can someone tell me the demarcation that we had in the Gambia way back in the 60s and 70s, when you talk to anyone in Brufut, you ask, when you wrote a letter or addressing a letter to someone who lived in Bakau or Serakunda or Kanifing, how was it addressed? And for someone to come in now to tell us is that if you are coming from Banjul, you enter Serakunda and you make your immediate right as you are going towards Brufut. I believe is Manjai Kunda, is it part of West Coast region, or after you pass Manjai, you are in? Because I remember Kololi is part of West Coast region. So you're right. Since we don't have competency in our administration, and people are so focused on partisanship, so this Talib comes in. And again, let's go back to the history of Brufut and Sukuta. Most of the land in Sarakunda belong to who? The people from where? Sukuta. It was out of generosity that people were allowed to stay there, and that's how they got the name Sarah Job Kunda. Yeah. So you're right. We need to get our politicians to. Unfortunately, what we have in the Gambia now, it seems like politics is the one that is taking center stage instead of national development. Yeah. So I'm very concerned about this issue. Like even going to Brufut, it's almost like you going down somewhere else, because it's only one good road going in there, and when it rains, tell me that they can't even get into their places. So again, thank you. You're right, Mr. Manjang and the panelists. I think if we cannot only blame, we should not only blame the politicians in Brekama. I think your representative, Baba Gale Jallo, should be contacted to say that people are talking about moving your district or moving the demarcation, and somebody needs to talk about it, because all this is about revenue. as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to land-wise, that demarcation that Talib Bensouda is talking about, it will not hold water. Because I don't think anyone in West Coast region will entertain the idea of moving the line to favor Carnifing.
Yeah, thank you very much. Ensa, you will come right to give a historical perspective. For before that, the economic and cultural implication for West Coast region. We've seen when Yahya Jammeh was there, one of the most lucrative revenue source for West Coast region was when they have full control over the hotels. But now he created the TDA. Now that TDA, we've seen Ahmed Ba and his gang, enriching themselves with that money. And also the sand mining also used to be managed by the West Coast region, but then he take that and put it to geology and he put his own people there. Now we have this issue. We are even maybe lose some territory. That means we are losing more economic zones. What do you think are the long-term, short and long-term economic and social implications for the people of KOMBO? And what can we do? What can we do to stop this? Because we need solutions as well.
Yeah, I mean, the economic impact obviously will be very evident. I'm not too sure, I'm not a statistician, but I know somebody gave me rough figures, obviously, of the revenue collected from the tourism industry. And also, again, basically part of West Coast region, Western Division of West Coast region. But I just want to take us back to Bensouda for a minute. Okay, I am just gonna be the devil's advocate. I'm gonna give the guy the benefit of the doubt. I'm just gonna think that I'm just gonna assume basically he's just trying to clarify the borders. So that's why he called the ex-mayors to say, look, could you guys help me, because there's no paperwork here. Because like when I listened to his conversation, his interview, he's saying all the different mayors gave him different lines of demarcation on different borders. So he's trying to clarify. So I am gonna basically give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just gonna say, okay, he's just doing it just for the sake of knowing where the borders are, which means he's a very good administrator. So I have also got I'm not gonna lie to you, I've got a very soft spot for this guy, because
so do I.
The changes he was able to implement in KMC within a very short period of time. And I'm a very strong believer, if people can prove themselves in administration, these are the sort of people we need actually in our government. So the problem we have with, so I'm going to go back to Sherifo right now. I don't know, this is nothing personal, but if you compare this guy, the difference is between the earth and the sky. It's huge, it's huge. So then you got our president Barrow himself as well. I mean, this guy, compared to Barrow, this guy does much better than Barrow. Seriously. But coming to these economic implications, obviously, I mean, if these guys ask it, and like I said, I'm going to benefit of the doubt. And then some people, we think I mean, we've got people amongst components of Western Division people who are a little bit suspicious of why he's doing it. So I think it's the onus is on our guys back home to make sure that they also do their homework and confirm where our guys are. I mean, when it goes to Jammeh's edicts of like saying, oh, so and so, even this revenue generated here, but I'm going to make it go to West Coast region, we have to go to court for that. So some of those things you can do them too legally, because we can legally challenge that anyway. The revenue needs to come to us, or there have to be a certain type of arrangement or agreement whereby a certain amount of the revenue collected stays in the local area and some goes to the central government. That's something to do. I'm not very TDA, how is run. Honestly, I don't know. That's something I probably need to have. I should have done research comment on the show today, but I do not know. Comment on that is going to be very, very limited.
Dave, let me welcome your dad. Doctor, you wanna go meet again? Banka, welcome.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. I'm sorry I'm running late. As you can see, I'm driving.
I'm the one who's going to apologize, because we put you under a lot of pressure to be here. That shows how professional and how passionate you are about it. We really appreciate your time. We finished 3-4 Sonko, and And now we're discussing Talib. I'm not sure if you heard Talib interview with Panderi Touray, where he explained why he called this Mr. Jallo, Yankuba, Yankuba Koli and yeah. Yeah, because there is a confusion about the demarcation between West Coast region and KMC. You know, but he mentioned specifically certain areas. Some people are telling, well, this is in KMC, this is in West Coast region. But we know those areas are serious hot economic zones. You know, we cannot afford them to fall to KMC. You know, but with all this destruction going on in Brikama, you know, I think this boy picked his moment very well to come up with this, because you don't know when. So we are discussing about the implication, and David saying, yeah, he got top spot for this boy because, you know, he said he want to put everything in record, but there's no records and all that. But the timing, and if you listen to that, he's a good administrator, no doubt about that. And we wish we have similar one in Brikama. But the implication for West Coast region, we are distracted, and this boy is coming with this clever idea. You know, so that's what we are discussing right now. Dr. Eve was the historical background of West Coast KMC and West Coast region, and the economics. Just the economics implication. Say if, for example, he says Manjang, that means we lose Senegambia and all other hotel around that hot spot. The economic implication for that, and what do you think the people of KOMBO need to do right now, you know, to make sure we are fairly represented in this whatever is going on with all this destruction?
Right. Well, I mean, look, the Talib is looking after his district or locality, whatever description you want to give it, and I don't blame him for that. What I think where we need to put the emphasis on is to make sure that West Coast region really also looks after the West Coast region in that regard, because we cannot have this now. This territorial encroachment is very normal. I mean, everybody wants to claim. Countries do it all the time. Regions do it all the time. Towns and cities do it all the time. They will claim, especially when they know that an area, as you said, the good doctor said before, an area is economically viable. Countries sometimes will go to war over these kinds of territories. I mean, whether because oil is discovered in a region and then two countries declare, both of them claiming they all own the place. So things like that. Now, that's what the game that Talib is playing, and I don't blame him for that. He's just looking after KMC. What we need to make sure is that Brikama Area Council also steps up and looks after the West Coast region in that regard, and make sure that the territory that is the land area that is supposed to be inside a West Coast, region is allocated to that area, and not that an inch of it is given to KMC, because Doctor is right. If, for instance, you have a hotel that is built in this land, obviously that hotel, with the taxes they pay and what have you, I don't know what kind of arrangement they have with central government with regard to that, but I'm sure they will, the locality will benefit greatly from that by way of taxes, and many other things, social amenities that tends to bring about, like roads and you know, electricity and water and things like that. But anyway, yeah, we need to make sure that our councillors at KMC, West Coast region, study this matter very carefully. And I'm sure the reason why Talib is, you know, going out there and saying these things is because I'm sure he was getting a pushback from the Brikama Area Council, and I hope, and I just hope. Then this is where I think we need to make sure that we put a lot of emphasis on, and that is Talib is sort of quote unquote UDP, even though he's not UDP proper. I don't see Talib as a core UDP. I think he's on the fringes. No. And you know, I don't believe Talib's UDP status much. But anyway, but he is seen as a UDP. That's the way it is. And Sirifo Sonko, obviously, as you know, is seen to be quote unquote NPP, Barrow, whatever that is. I hope that we don't get blinded by these two, their party affiliations and what you know, who they associate with, and then take sides based on that. You see what I'm saying? Let's make sure we put the Yeah, we put emphasis.
Ensa mentioned something like that we have to be careful of this partisanship. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. So we just need to make sure that the partisanship doesn't take hold and dominate this conversation to where we forget, we totally get blinded and forget that this is about West Coast region, whether Sirifo Sonko is the, I'm not a fan of Sirifo Sonko, let me say that. But let me put it this way. Whether Sirifo Sonko is the chair of become area council or not, let's just pretend it doesn't even matter, and it doesn't matter. So we should deal with it strictly as a matter of locality. If we are, since we are from West Coast region, we make sure that Talib understands that he cannot encroach on the West Coast region area. Yeah, Gambia is all Gambia. We all belong to Gambia, but there's a reason why he is pushing for it, and it's the same reason we should be pushing for it too. We cannot yield an inch to him because of that reason. That was what the point I was trying to get at.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Banka. As usual, you don't disappoint, even though you are late. Ensa,
thank you.
Yes, Amadou.
What is clear in that interview is history deficiency in the Gambia. I think Gambia education system needs a complete overhaul. Talib is completely oblivious to the history of KMC, the area is representing. Ensa, can you give us a brief historical background to KMC and also KOMBO, how it will come to be, and why we need to really do something about our history?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ahmed. That is why my documentary, I produced a documentary called History of KOMBO, KOMBO before the colonial era, for people to understand the real.
Ensa, you get close to your mic a little bit.
Yeah, I said the reason why in the University of the Gambia, when I came there, we tried to see how best we could actually produce video documentaries for people to understand their histories but through realities and evidences, and to also conceptualize the real, actually, physical or ancient administrative layout of KOMBO. If you understand that the KOMBO was divided into two regions, that is the other KOMBO, which is a lower KOMBO, and the upper KOMBO, which traditionally was identified as KOMBO Afet region. Burfoot was part of KOMBO Afet region, Baka was part of KOMBO Afet region, and the Banjul was part of KOMBO Afet region. All these people, all these areas were under the jurisdiction of Yundu Busumbala administrative zone, under KOMBO, where the kings were actually based in Busumbala and that of Yundu. So there is no way where we can say that, but in 1816, when the British really wanted to actually abolish slave trade, Banjul became strategic. And then the British had to actually approach the King of KOMBO, where actually it handing over or secession was actually signed, because the jurisdiction of KOMBO as a political unit was recognized internationally. And the signing of that transfer of Banjul to the British was actually a confirmation that we were actually part of the global system that recognized our political civilization and the jurisdictions that were actually carved by people. So we were not actually onlookers in the global system, because we were part and parcel, and we were active players. So when after that was taken, in the latter part of the 19th century, around 1840s or whatever, we understand that the only production system, there was a shift in the production system, where a new production system came within the context of cash crop production, centered on peanut production for that matter. Most of the merchants, British merchants and others who were coming, actually had to actually look for a space, a productive space for farming, because a KOMBO, we can say that KMC, that is KOMBO St. Mary, was very, very close to the port, where they could farm and easily actually transport their farm produce to sell. So that was why the British had to actually approach the King of KOMBO based in Busumbala and Yundum also to help them. That is why we say British KOMBO, and this other part of KOMBO, they were considered as foreign KOMBO. So which means that none of this jurisdiction that actually this man, where even came, is part of the people of KOMBO and of those who established their political and political governance over 300 years or more than that. So because of that, they called that place KOMBO Tibabu Banko, because it was actually given to these people from Lamine, after Lamine, down to Banjul. So we have to understand that from Talinding Kunjan down up to Bakote, it was all part of Sukuta people on those places. So we have to understand that one thing we need to understand. You people are actually looking at this man approach on the basis of reclaiming a viable economic or revenue strategy area. No, you don't understand. Why is UDP talking? None of these opposition are talking about Taliban's action. When Abdullah Wada wanted to disarm MFDC, I am telling you people what you need to understand. Because when the MFDC started, the entire Casamance and the diversity in Casamance backed actually that initiative and that struggle. In order to disarm those who were actually in the middle of the struggle, they had to dismember Casamance politically, territorially. And they had to do this territorial dismemberment on the basis of cultural realities, cultural geography. Ration de Kolda was created so that the Fulani people will Fulani people will actually create their own autonomy, and they may not actually identify themselves with Casamance people. Ration de Kolda was created. Listen to me very carefully. Two, Ration de Sejo, which is Mandinka-based area, was created so that Mandinka-speaking people will not align themselves with those who were struggling. And that is called, Zigansor was left isolated. MFDC was completely disarmed. The struggle for Casamance was not a collective Casamance war. It was only actually limited to Jola sections. We are fighting for KOMBO, and they are talking about. This is not about only reclaiming revenue, strategic revenue areas, but politically, at the same time, you people in KOMBO will be isolated because none of them are talking about that. So now, once the hotels are actually incorporated in KMC, one, Vigilo, Kelsirin, Supjas, play all the Santos will be part of it. So which part of KOMBO now is going to struggle to make sure that you need to look at this thing beyond revenue level. This has political implications, and we are fighting for something, and everybody is keeping quiet. So you don't understand what is going on, and this is what, that is the administrative dismemberment, and trying to reclaim area is beyond revenue issue. Nobody can dispute this thing in history, even in the international records. In international record, it is there. KOMBO people own all these places. It's because of the European and the colonials' quest for more land for farmers, because their merchants are coming to buy, and its proximity to Banjul that required people of the kings of KOMBO to hand over those lands. Look at what happened in around 1876, around 1877, when the French were jostling their hands to make sure that Gambia was actually escaped. What happened? Tumani Bojan, the last Tumani Bojan wrote, if you, my great grandfather gave you this place, not because of you have to transfer it to any other powers. My great grandfather ancestor handed over this thing to Queen Isabel, not to transfer it. The letter was written in JMJ. I can give it to you people for you to confirm all this. Don't do it, and Queen Isabel actually understood through that, and he rejected the French quest to annex Gambia, which means our political leaders in KOMBO were internationally, they were recognized. They were part and parcel of that global system, and they were having a kind of force and recognition for that matter. So this is beyond revenue, what I'm telling you people right now, but territorially to isolate us in our struggle to make sure that KOMBO emerge and our consolidation. Because this is going to be about cultural inclusion, cultural incorporation. Once Regional colonies, Santos, they will never be seen themselves as part of the West Coast region or as part of KOMBO. So we are.
Thank you very much. You make me really worried, and I think that's why the issue at back is very important. We need to have smart, educated people in that office, or we regret it. And this beyond just revenue, I believe it, because if you look at the taps, when they come and buy these lands and they develop them, the naming change. So the people who settle in those places, they don't identify with the locals. So this like a cultural genocide actually taking place. We have to be really careful. That will take us to our last segment. One issue, the narrative, even us, the Kombongas, believe that Kombongas idake political. But you look at, you don't even need to be a history student to know that traditionally we are the kingmakers. just that ntol mu jidu no lalet nimol ngajio do nimfta bunda data ya tambuleta high table. So in recent time, Dr. Conteh is here. He expressed openly his intention to go, I take a names on the call, to go head to head with Hussein Dabo. And there was this revenge porn on him. And now we have our own bro Lamine Bojam from Brewfood also complaining that he want to go head to head to look for a presidency. This thing happened. Do people think this is just a coincidence, or there is a clear plan, to disarm the people of Gunjur or my Kombo in general, so that they don't get to the high table? Because I believe if we got there, we wouldn't be able to leave. It will be difficult to get rid of it. So this is why we are, Doctor. For this one, I will come to last because you are a victim. You will going to close this program and tell us your personal experience. I will start with Dave. What do you think the implication for this, for the people of Kombo? Do you think this will dampen our spirit that no people from Kombo will have the confidence to come and look for the highest position?
I am going to be very honest with you. I didn't know much about this until a few nights back. One of my cousins was telling me, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know much about it. And then one of my cousins was telling me, have you heard what happened to your brother? I'm like, no. And then, okay, I didn't want to get into it anyway. So I'm like, okay, fine. And she kind of gave me a brief of it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, but then for me, I'm quite, I'm nonchalant about it. I'm like, okay, I mean, we just not electing people on their morality, are we? So, I mean, we know what I mean. What I'm basically saying is, nobody's a saint. We're not looking for a saint.
Yeah.
So everybody can have temptations, if that's what it is. To be honest with you, they sent me a video on YouTube. I just glanced a little bit because he's my big brother, number one. I don't even want to see that anyway. But number two, but my question was like, so does it really matter in the grander scheme of things? So if Kombo people are, we say, look, he's just a human being like us. So I don't see the problem anymore now. So that's why I'm standing anyway. But that's me personally. So, well, when it comes to like what they said about conspiracy, it might be a conspiracy there. I mean, maybe the lesson for everybody anyway. Whether you're in the public domain, or I mean, you wanted to be you want to get yourself in a leadership position, wherever it is. Maybe you all need to be a little bit more careful. But then again, you don't even know who you're dealing with here.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very difficult one. I know it's criminal what's happened. I mean, if you was in the UK, the person who actually released that video will be locked up because it's not allowed here. So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't look too much into it because for me it was like, no, I don't want to know. I just didn't want to know at all. But if he was somebody who, and this is the foul play, and he could, there are people who can who can investigate this for him. They could know the source, and the person obviously could be prosecuted because what he's done. I don't know about the Gambian laws when it comes to like electronic, what's it called, emails and stuff. I'm not too clear on it, but I know in the UK.
Don't even be too clear on it. We still have indemnify in that constitution, so don't even think about internet laws yet in the Gambia.
All right, okay, there you go. So it shows how out of touch I am. Well, anyway, again, coming back to it, I mean, if it is true, if it's doctored, and it is true, but Kombonkos are looking for a leader. So do we have to put him on moral pedestal then? That's my question. If he's a weak person, I mean, like we are all weak. If he's a moment of weakness, do we have to rubbish him off because he had one tiny moment of weakness? I'm not saying this is true, by the way. Personally, I really don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, there you talking about somebody who have been in England for 30 years. But if you go to Gunjur, my Kabilo, they tell them, Labari, this is what he's doing in the internet. Yeah, in Mandinka. So this is the issue here. Banka, what's your take on this? This is a difficult one, I know, for everybody. I know Lamine anyway. Here we interacted. And the people who are close to him at the embassy, spoke highly of him, But as he said, we all sin anyway. That's why Almighty Allah doesn't close the door on repentance anytime. It's open all the time. And what is criminal, people taking people's sins, mistake, and use it as a political or commercial for commercial gain. That is criminal, and it should be discouraged. But now we've seen this happening to our true KOMBO brothers who saw political ambitions. This is my fear. Do you think this is a coincidence, or people are just preparing to tear us before we even stand on our feet? Your take.
Well, Ahmed, I'm not crazy. I'm not really too crazy about conspiracy stuff. I don't believe that this is a UDP engineered thingy or UDP folks who are the ones behind it and they try to. I don't believe any of that. I don't believe that this is like a conspiracy against KOMBO. There's a KOMBO, there is another KOMBO, let's plot. And I don't believe any of that. Here's what I believe. What happened with Lamine's case is criminal. And when I say criminal, I even mean the real term criminal. You see, in America here, and I'm sure you are familiar with these laws, in America, even if the police acquire something, illegally from, let's say they break into your home and find a lot of marijuana there. If their breaking into your home was not legal, judges or courts will throw that out completely, because for them, you acquired that illegally and you are not supposed to. That person's privacy is what you have violated. And what we are forgetting here is that we need to remember one basic fact, and that is Lamine's privacy has been violated here in the most egregious fashion, and we should all stand up and condemn that, because everybody deserves right to privacy. The other thing, yes, and I think most people are kind of totally blinded to that. If anybody's home was invaded like this, your privacy was invaded like this, because if I am having a conversation with you, Ahmed, I don't want that conversation recorded. If I'm on a video conference with you, I don't want to have that video conference recorded unless and until I give you my explicit approval. I say, yes, go ahead, you can record. You ask me and I approve it. But if you don't do that, then whatever you acquire from that is a criminal act. And I think, because in America here, people do get prosecuted for this kind of stuff. And in the Gambia too, where maybe they don't have access to this guy, I would have insisted that he too be criminally charged. So, and this is what has happened with Lamine's case. One, his right to privacy has been violated. And number two, people should not be celebrating this, because at the end of the day, here the other aspect of this, but most people are forgetting. Look, we are all from the Gambia, we know each other. Nobody here is a saint. None of us here is a saint. We can pretend to be, and we can claim to be, because we haven't gotten caught. But we are not saints. We've all had skeletons in our closets, and we've all had skeletons in our closet from the past. So at the end of the day, it's one of those cases where, this holier than thou kind of thing, my question will be, hey, whoever is sinless, you go ahead and cast the first stone. Let's sit down here and wait. Who is going to cast the first stone? Nobody will. Lamine is the one who got caught, and the way he got caught is by, it's through like a scheme that is criminal, that is wrong, that's a violation of his privacy, and we should all therefore condemn it and stand in solidarity with Lamine and show and express to everybody that this is totally wrong. What I am disappointed in is the partisan nature of it, is how I have seen people celebrating this in some quarters, and that shouldn't be the case, because this is not something that should be celebrated, number one, because no matter how politically sort of disagreeable we are, we should not be celebrating acts that are totally wrong, violations that are totally illegal, that are totally should not be acceptable. Because today is Lamine. Who knows who it is going to be tomorrow? If it happens to somebody tomorrow who is you are close to, will you find it really funny? Will you find it really amusing? I don't think so. And we all, like I said, we all know each other in the country. Let's not pretend. I don't like the business of pretense, because if we pretend here today, tomorrow if it hits our home, your pretense is not going to be. People are not going to take it lightly. So at the end of the day, let's accept the fact that, look, we have these issues in our community. Lamine has exercised poor judgment. What he has done, yes, somebody can question the moral aspect of it, and the person will be totally on grounded footing. But at the end of the day, we must also accept that we all have that moral failing pervasive in our communities, and then at the end of the day, it has no bearing on somebody's actions in public in a public office, because somebody who is running you see, people always tend to forget. Bob Marley, that people everybody reveres, and we all talk so highly of. We would love to listen to, and we think he's a prophet. Bob Marley has so many children out of wedlock. It's not even funny. Bob Marley, and he was a married man. Martin Luther King, that we all celebrate here and quote him every day. If you go back and look at his private life, trust me, you'll find some very interesting stuff over there. I can go on and on and on and on about people that we supposedly revere, that we quote every day, that we believe we tend to seek. I mean, we've already put on a pedestal and kind of see them as prophets in their own rights, and right for all the right reasons. I'm on that bandwagon. I fully support that. What I'm trying to say is that those people, we are not judging them on their private lives. We are judging them on their public lives. Let's do it the same with Lamine. If anybody sits here and questions Lamine's ability to govern, that's fine. That's fair game. If somebody questions Lamine's ability to be able to run a country or this or that, fair game. If somebody questions Lamine's ability to his political manifesto or what have you, fair game. But if we are going to get into each other's bedrooms, pulling stuff to tear each other down, I don't know whether that's the road we want to travel on. And for me, that's why I'm troubled by this, because I know Lamine is a good guy. I know he's a decent guy. He's my brother. He's my blood. And I will stand firmly by him on this issue. And I believe that everybody should, because at the end of the day, I don't know whoever can stand here really and raise your hand and say, well, whatever Lamine is caught doing, I have never done it, and I've never been on the road before. Let's be honest with each other. Let's not play the game. We've all had this in our closet. So Lamine is a good guy. He's a decent man, and I believe that people who are going after him for this, for political reasons, should stop it, because if it happens to Lamine today, tomorrow if it happens to somebody else that is also out there in the arena, you will not find it very, very funny, and you will have nobody to blame but yourself, because you started it. That's all I'm about to say. I'm in full solidarity with Lamine. I love him, and this incident has taken nothing away from the love and the respect I have for him. I just wanted to say that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Banka. I think that's what most of us, most good people are. If Maya Angelou should die at the age of 21, she will be remembered as a prostitute.
There you go.
If Malcolm X should die, at the age of 21, he would remember as a drug dealer and exactly. So if Umar bin Khattab should die at the age of 25, he will be remembered as a violent alcoholic. So these are some of the things we should put into perspective. But Gambians, it seems, because of our, I think it's ignorance, I will call it, general ignorance, we are pinning on something that are not, actually are nothing anyway, because Almighty Allah himself said, you know what he said? If we don't sin at all, like we stop from sinning on this earth, he will take us all out and replace it with people who actually sin, so he can forgive them, because he likes forgiving people. Who are we not to forgive and all that? Ensa, I will come to you, then finally Doctor will come to us, and if anybody have anything to add to Doctor, because he's a victim, he's a living victim. So Ensa, what's your take on this? I've seen, you went head to head with a lot of people in Facebook about it.
I will have to step out, Ahmed. I will have to step out, okay?
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much anyway.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And Amo, your last Quranic your allusion to the Quran is very, very important. And then that actually should concept our understanding of why human being was created. We said that the Almighty God has about 100 attributes. All the attributes were operational except one of the attributes. And that actually led to the creation of man as a weak existence. That is, we say, his Rahman or Rahim was not actually functioning, because all other creatures that he created were not actually insubordinate to him. We are actually submissive to the authority of God. So if all those people were actually subservient and submissive to God, how could God and the attributes of mercy be operational now? Where? Upon whom? So
Yeah.
if we are all to be angels here, the mission of man is to be weak. The Almighty will actually efface us from this earth and replace it with other existence.
Yeah.
So that is what we need to honor. Coming down to this thing, let us tell us here about this thing. We cannot actually look at it. Because let me tell you, KOMBO is very strategic in the Gambian political context. Why I say KOMBO is very, very strategic? Not because of anything, because of demographic condition. That will require anybody who has influence or political base in KOMBO will actually pull the Gambian election. So that is why we need to understand very, very, very well. We know that Lamine did never even align himself with the existing government. Nobody had ever seen him. He has been actually in this, assumed the same position like other opposition against the existing government. And most of his pronouncement is to challenge the government on issues and policies. So now we understand that if actually Lamine is in the same position with the other opposition, and what actually might have actually motivated people to actually trying to demoralize this man. And not only Mr. Lamine Conteh was demoralized in the same way, and he had an attempt to establish a political party. And all these two people came from KOMBO. We have seen other political aspirants from other regions of the Gambia, and there was never an attempt on the part of those people to demoralize them this way. Why is it that two persons from KOMBO are actually exposed this way? Because that's what we need to understand. We are not going to be utilized as instrument to galvanize political support and vote. At the end of the day, we are vegetated. We should stop doing that. What we need here is that our intellectual properties, our elite and intellectual properties, we must preserve them. Because I am telling you here, you are all capable of ruling this country. All of you here right now. You have the potential, you have the qualification. Why is it that once a Kombonkas emerge to struggle to quest for presidency, why is it that the person is always constrained in different form? That is why question of why KOMBO need to be actually indicated, need to be clear. We have seen politicians from other areas in this country and have never been identified this way, have never been demoralized there. Why is it that when the people of KOMBO, that is what I'm telling you here, which means you cannot own all these resources at the same time come and control our government. You have to think about it. Politics is about strategy. These people look at the Gambian context traditionally, because Gambians, they believe in morality a lot, and trying to see how they could actually change the imagination of the people against Lamine and against any other political aspirant. If we don't mind, we need to respect. That's why I respect. We need to respect our intellectual properties. We need to respect them, and we need to guard them. I guard them. Anybody from KOMBO who is potential, I make sure your name is guarded. I protect you because I believe you have the mind to do that, unless some of the dubious people who are aligned with the other people against KOMBO. So nobody can. Why was it that this thing was done to Lamine Conteh, done to Lamine Manjang? And these people are making attempt to struggle for political power in a genuine way. And we have seen others who have done so many rubbish things more than them. But why is it that? We need to understand this condition, and this question must be raised. Why? Why? So what we need to understand here is that KOMBO must be very, very careful. Your great and prominent sons, be very, very careful. There are two forms of war. You all know that. You have the spiritual war, you have the electronic war, you have different wars. And this will all be mobilized as means to make sure that your people are demoralized to the extent that they will be vegetated by the entire Gambian population. So now the question is, how do we manage to actually guard our intellectual properties? Because we have seen in the initial establishment of coalition government, KOMBO did not have any single minister to be appointed. But we realized that from other areas, one Hamulen, you have about 6 to 7 people and different ambassadors. To the extent that some people were writing on the internet, your Facebook, saying that this particular place is the brain basket of the Gambia. Brothers and sisters, we are following the Gambian situation in a very critical way. So now it actually demonstrates that people of KOMBO do not have competence and capacity to produce even a representation. And because owing to our action in the cabinet, number one, there was nobody to advise the government culturally to understand even our land, the condition of our land problem, our viable zone problem, like our rivers, our seas. Nobody was there. And this required anything that was actually decided against KOMBO. Nobody was there to actually bring their attention to the consequences. So this is why representation is very important. You are not there. 5 people died because of absence of KOMBOnkers in the government. In Faraba, about 3 to 4 people died. In Gunjur, Berandi, people died. Why? Because what? Because of insensitivity of the government structure. That was initially established to constitute the coalition. If we don't enter into the governance to pool, to become forces of a force, we will remain to be stunted, and our deprivation will be actually reinforced and intensified against us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ensa, for that passionate presentation. You mentioned one thing what David's might be trivialized. That is the morality issue in Gambian politics. You know, Gambia is not about substance. We've seen how passionate people debated when that homosexuality issue was raised. You know, but at the same time of that, the health minister went to the parliament and tell them how corrupt the people at his ministry are. Nobody care about that. You know, you hear they will tell you they will tell you Mama Kande is a womanizer. These are the issues people, you know, I think it's the same thing here. They try to create with our 2 brothers, as they say, Chokore Kadia Olo Fongladakono. Doctor, we have only 3 minutes. We have only 3 minutes, but I know we can't adjust this in 3 minutes. So I will give you not the whole how everything happened, not the details, but the impact on you, and does this dampen your political career? And do you think there is, you know, actually a conspiracy behind this? Okay, 1 minute first. The viewers of Gunjur Online TV, please share these videos. You know, that's what helps us to get the message across to people who don't have the opportunity to watch it live. So if you are watching it, please share the video. Yes, carry on, Doctor. I really appreciate that. In Mandinka, go ahead.
Banka Manneh nyanda janna ayela moyna kendeke.
Abela Moekan, I can tell you he's watching. Amantara Jalla, but he is watching.
Nsa foyko mbamala kabro mfamala kabro UDP molde benyum kuoto. Ntedem beri lota unkombe political party from the Democratic Party. Watu wati UDP nkolde benkele kang hanat rembe mbe video ke kang ibenno kang mbadin konoto. Bialanko afama boda kafuta will use pour kante humiliate. Nsa foyale ko kambano mienyin na kachatale. Bering na kambandole banta Indiana tatala bade rombestilo kang Illinois ayen commande. Akonyo ko asura da $5,000 lembolo. Nkai ko akungana credit card number diala nkai ko hani ko nto dira no kato ila fa ko do ikon ko do min kiye mimbe bank wala siata wot ndina credit card number dira no nkai bare nim futata sate do to mbe ko do kile na telephone fele because I was looking for this mbenyen nyin kala non ko kambana ya to din ala address obe Nanye nganka ko jane benyim €5,000 kile o dollars kiye. Nka lefte ya fonyo ko bini benyim ko koma. Mbadin konoto aya tofo. ay bamba mastofo nkai ko miente jahari wala nyente ko briente kumande o Saturday less than 5 minutes panderin by yente kumande nkai ente ma understand itebe benin panderi be North Carolina bamba masol be England nte ma understand ite ente call within 5 minutes panderi ente call for interview a konya ko panderi da bijele nga panderi nga kumande nga nyinen kan wala na nga sape Facebook konye incident min keta nga panderi nyinen kala nka mina tin na nyen kamba no aye tofu for na first name din na de this is my old telephone mano to bijele so yamin fo wala nyende ko ete ka Usain Dabo la neng mfana me min kelele iba jalale so I don't know nyama Lamine boja afana lo tale ama Usain neng ay fenna foko Usain ya mero kamo jolalti no hana fa manka ana mo jolade nte o manka dala problem de kado jolane ndolo ko mon ko jolane mbanen ko ntole bele se danyoka bare nyire ko min kentele inke imante discourage e min tani volontel nyinde ko dam fadam ba katala de Usain Dabo nala UDP kana win kombo kan dol kombo dingoli yo dolla ngay bol fintin mo la jeltanna nsa fali ko kombo ko le la fali la mo nda kende hanin na do kudula ye o kolle pour kante bay do ko wala ndela video ya kin na do kudula pour kan bay do ko wala ndunganda ko ne yes
ha
ndunganda ko la no bojam fana be do ko le bo kusi fala kala banka manen sa min foy ko UDP kolle be be nyin ko mare amanke fende fondoro kombo dingol bi yalla ko lota ngom batatale wato wadnen katre fayo nata kamine ke nga diamo nga denkilo la nga katre faye nin katre fayo bante ikan damfule ko falo yen samba koma ndolo fana wultan ko bello la kafo ko halatra manke banko presidenti nse mo findi kombo waranda nga mo findi Gambia mi ala ko Gambia ko be kanu so nse min fo mo le wala nyin ko yalla ntamandi amu folo baden sa faale ko sur wa manyen ken ndala de papandere de baden sa faale ko mbaden sur wa muso wala lota yenna ko kele fe kumbota on Facebook yile min kentel data ndam molte mi yalon ko man malla alala nsam fa e min ke Lamine bojanna le Lamine bojam malla alala asa fa alin kana fu nyin fo ka fo ko ha morality e jamala right nyin fan invade ibela bunko ne ima mo affect mo yo call case use ndong jemmaro men be benin amantala number soro de ya muso mi use amantala number soro etolante use etole o information dila nsa fa de ko den ko during APRC mall ibela meeting ola e ba bonan foni lafta mol nyen kala ku kilin na wala gente ko mena tinna APRC mall biri dunta ntola kombo is nsafo ko suma kunda mena tinne mebu nsa mol nyen kala ko de ka faade ko biri APRC mall dunta ka futa mena tinne mebu mena tinne biri dunta hamdallah mebu minatinde idunta madina soto ko yeme bun minatinde biri dunta ndolla tanene eme bun faraba bante eme bun piran eme bun bonto eme bun kuloro eme bun minatinde biri dunta manina ba eme bun minatinde APRC mol biri dunta brikama mombe bun biri dunta farato mombe bun UDP mol ko UDP mol ya sape on Facebook ko ni nata busumbala ali bun no ali ya remember le bring APRC mol dunta busumbala UDP mol wulte ele we roll tay so tumando ba the political kuleti ko mi alonko ni toro bijele but ye dake political kono ite nyata kala molte mi alonko inyanta kala molte mi alonko ikana sila fenda kadi UDP moli e symbol dintala imanta discorrect
Yeah.
Tanin tol fo la kambando e minefo iko he's next and then another lady ikafa Kasa Mandi Sise Mandi More. According Momo Usain Dabo Neng, they're gonna go after you. Another lady, they use false names. The Barney Kala one ten all and Yendeko. Minatina Yem Mo mi Alonko, I Lamine Bojan Sijus. Minatina, I Gambia first last name used as the first name. Ikafa Sala Tanis.
Yeah.
Senegal and Koloko Sal. Gambia and Koloko Sala. Yeah, spelling the SALLAH. Mina atinna kambano for an audio bentable jangajele. Abembulanga, I saved it. Abe diamula I for a call I kibaro I video key mole Gambia. Oh video akije male because I'm aki Lamine Bojan.
Yeah, that's right.
Nzeme mfadi ko wala nyindiko. UDP mo diko yalang nyinku wakande jahale ikonga mandenga ndeba falale. Ndema tolonde ban ndeba falale. Iko aliga mandenga fasake. Ha bari mandenga digo le tora jande. So nzeme mfadi ntol kombonkola. Alin kana ke thinking teti. Alin kana ke sajioti. Alin kana kartre fa UDP. Billahi wallahi ta'ala nzeme mfadi wala nyindiko. Al kana mandenga yajibe. Alikatre fay moye momi alonko alla keno itatala bulu itali humiliate la adigol mi yalan ke tara karawle kane ngaibo fintendi kad UDP more that's what they want to do don't come on they have no respect for us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor.
One last thing I want to tell you kombo konisa min pare ko wala nyinde ko manke sa jieti alin kala bor monokan yalan ta mandi ba bindi amutare alaji ba min ke bi fo molma rumo ko kafoko barola MPP anin jama APRC wala be kafala nyoka ha ngando ko bi UDP mo jama mantara sino.
Yeah, thank you very much. And once again, thank you very much.
One minute.
No. I'll give you time to come to if you have any comment because this is very important. And I see why Doctor is emotional. I'm emotional myself. And also, I've been threatened that I am the next. So, God forbid, but I'm okay with that. Yes, I'm okay with that. And, I've been in a fight all my life. I fight for everything in my life. I never come from a privileged family. You speak to anybody who knows me from school. I fight for everything. Once there is something to be fight, so I fight. And as a result of that, I'm also ready for anything. Doctor, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry what happened to Dr. Bojang. But this is about to educate Gambians and to educate the people of KOMBO especially. We have everything, but we are not being benefited. Our rights, our lands, have been dismembered and been taken. People become multi-millionaires because of KOMBO lands. So, and that's not going to change except when we go to decision making, senior decision making position. That is political position. Let nobody fool you. Let nobody fool us. We have to be decision makers to make sure that the political tools that are being used against the people of KOMBO are stopped. If not, we're going to be there. Even this issue in KMC that is just coming up. Who is going to speak for us? Because UDP give us an ignoramus who don't know his left and right. Even if that guy if nothing is happening, he goes into discussion with Talib Bensouda. Talib Bensouda will slaughter him and give us the khakis. David, what's your take? Final closing remarks on this issue.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Conteh. I'm sorry to hear it. This is all news to me because I've been it's good. I've been out of this Gambian politics for a very long time, and I used to be very active on Gambia Post and Gambia L, and then I just had so much stuff. I just got So I'm back there now, but because of the land issues and all the social issues in Kombo. But Gambian politics, I don't follow it that much, to be honest with you. I support Doi because I live in a compound with Abbas when I was a little boy. Abbas used to be the Doi's candidate in Brufut. Obviously, it's more Brufut. So every day he would give me the Foroya newspaper to read. So, so I just grew up on the diet of Foroya. So I just naturally just support Doi. So, but I don't follow Gambian politics. I mean, I wrote a letter to Dabo, obviously.
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned something. He will give you newspaper, but the impact that have on your intellectual development, you cannot put paper to that. You cannot put number to that. This is what I have is when people say PDOIs with all these years, how many seats they have, but the intellectual development of Gambia in general. Nobody is talking about that. So that's why Gambia issue politics is about emotion, not about issues. So these are the things I try to put into the heads of our youth. It's not only about position or whatever. It's about what you do to empower that population. Go ahead. Sorry, I interject.
No, that's fine. No. So what was I saying? Yes. So for me, that's what it was really. So my politics still is very socialist. Even in the UK, I'm a Labour Party. When I was at university, I used to be Socialist Labour Party, which is even more left to the left of the Labour Party. All because going back to so like you said, you can say they build the foundation for my intellectual development, really. So I'm very, very grateful to them. And I see, I'm always different. I'm always on the same page with them. But I don't follow government politics. But anyway, just to say, I actually wrote a letter to Dabo, Mr. Hussein Dabo MP.
The letter is gone, huh?
Yes. So basically, because he came in public to say that the issues that happened with the Cumberland, that the laws aren't right, and then he's going to do something about it. So I just basically sent him a letter. Let's see what he says.
Okay, so Doctor, among the comments, Modi Olimboj, you remember him?
Yeah.
He said he once had an agreement with you on Gambia L, but he said, you know what, that's gone. He said, keep your head high. He said, no. Yeah, exactly. Mod Oli. He said, I had agreement on the Gambia with you. Hearing what you said, I must say, keep your head up. No one should intimidate you. Great intellectual discussion. Thank you very much, Mod Oli. We really appreciate that. I will come to you. I will just read from Baraka Kupa. You should bring division in the Gambia. Everyone can stand for your region. Well, that's entirely a choice. We feel that we've been marginalized, even though we've been the kingmakers all in the history of the Gambia. So, and Kombo, everybody wants to settle there. And the Kombo people generally are very tolerant. With all tribal issues you hear in these forums are not people from Kombo, because we know Kombo is a melting pot. But we cannot also sit and fold our hands while political tools will be used to dismember our lands, to dispossess us and also to go against us. He said, Modoli again, Dave and I, Dave, I'm following you. Proud of you, bro. Thank you. That's Modoli.
It's my big brother, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's good. He's happy with your Ensa. Can you please close this program today? Your final remarks. We'll have. And we have to apologize. We are 13 minutes just, but today is no ordinary day. For the first time, people hear the version of Prof. Conteh, which is, today, I know he's been sleeping well, but today he will sleep far better because he got this off his chest. You know what I mean? This is what this platform is all about. The Kombo people can come here and share their frustrations, and share about how we can be part of the political establishment, how we can join with other regions to take this country forward. Thank you, Ensa. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I would like to talk to the people of Brufut, actually, that we are very sorry. And then it's a lesson for the people of Brufut and the entire Kombo and the Gambia. And then Lamine Bojang will advise.
Closer to your mic.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Closer to your...
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, clearly.
Okay, yes. I want to say that the people of Brufut should actually be very, very strong and Lamine. And this should not actually divert his attention from concentrating on the policy-driven issues when it comes to politics. he must actually continue to study the governance of this country and actually compare it with his party program and see what alternative condition he could create actually. He could create to actually to be more standard than the current political dispensation. So let him not actually be diverted. Let him concentrate. These are all means to actually divert. Because we understand that people stay in politics for 25 years. We have never had them in their political address to actually identify issues within the context of economic growth and within the context of dynamic governance. So we have never heard them talking about that. People talking about the narrative about their things, imprisonment and other things, but we want people who will come with policy-driven matters centered around Gambian condition, Gambian government, and identifying issues that would bring alternative venue where we can all explore as nations to actually create a kind of economic condition that will actually lift us from being periphery of the world system. Please, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all, Dr. Conteh, and thank you, Dave Manneh, for your time. We really appreciate it. And to our great host, Lamine Jammeh, the CEO of Gunjur Online TV. This platform is all about empowering the voiceless. You know, we've seen people with millions investing in other media platforms, you know, being their PR agents. We know that those it will be difficult for anybody to go there and, you know, descend to whatever they are promoting. So, and we are also cognizant of the fact that, you know, everything in this world is all about the media. You know, if you don't have a voice, nobody talk about you. We are talking about Black Lives Matters. But everything, you know, we all been brainwashed. So I will read one final note from our viewers, because we're trying to make this as interactive as possible. We have a telephone line. Unfortunately, we forgot to put it down so people can call. You know, if they have what we are saying, they have an opinion against, they can call and actually discuss it on air. We are open to it. So I'm going to read from Buba Jata. Jam, if you can put this on the screen for me, then that will be. Thank you all for your time. Okay, who is holding other region from forming their own organization, which they have already done by the way anyway? What is wrong? What is wrong of KOMBO forming a group? The condemnation should come when they try to follow their self-interest and other than greater interest of the Gambia. Apart from that, I see no problem with it. But this is the problem anyway. This is the issue. We also didn't see anything wrong with it. You know, we just try to give voice to our people and to educate them. Politics is not about emotion only. We have to use politics to the head. And partisanship, you know, we've been fighting. We've been divided over politics. It's not about, you know, fighting each other. It's about fighting with ideas, not to bring each other down. You know, if we bring everybody down or we kill each other, who are we going to rule anyway? Thank you all. Allah Baraka.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abarak. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello Gambia, your television experience is about to be transformed to the next level. Enjoy amazing features with the new DTT decoder by XCAF. Watch television in high definition and excellent sound quality. Watch Gambian channels such as GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise TV and MTA with one decoder, all for free. That's not all. For a monthly subscription of $510, you get 60 international channels from your favorite football leagues, news, African movies, telenovelas, cartoons and much more. Get the decoder for $2,040, which comes with free installation installation, 24/7 customer and technical support all year round, and 1 month free subscription for only $510 thereafter. Get the decoder at XCAF Gambia, located at Hendon Court Building, former Dream Park, Senegambia, or through approved dealers. For more info, call 446-1060 or 446-10.
falindir balle bina sotola alka television jube nyameng escap Gambia ye DTT decoder kutamalle nati dameng alse GRTS QTV Star TV Paradise TV ani MTA be soto min natalol anin kuma kangol be senearing lew andung ite fenjola DTT decoder akesan dalasi wuli fula ani dalasi tanani dronga andung ibe sola karikilina ye bantala bankol la channel jama jube andung ite kodi wo kodi jola ni la fitaka kontine ka min siata ye channel tan woro la jube katake ye subscribe wolom kari kari ibe dalasi kemelulu ani dalasi tan donne jola ise football league channelol be jube news African movies telenovela film dima balu musical ani cartoon pour dindingol alta DTT decoder sang escaf la showroom mimbe Senegambia wotumo dream park be dame warang ila agentol minul be pankokam ani kumandi 446-1060 446-1061.
onon gambinaɓe mbimi joni kala ko fate fannu télévision ɗo e nder leydi ndi oɗon wawi hebde ɗum no jiɗiɗon ni weltare e DTT décoda kesso pulmo escaf antani won de téléji gonɗi ɗo e nder leydi ndi ko wayno GRTS QTV Star TV Paradise TV e MTA ɗiɗo téléji foof goni koye décoda goto te on jobata hen haydara mbimi minen escaf min kaɗani toon tan 1.5 e bus sappo lewru foof jobata keɓa caneluji 60 gonɗi caggal leydi ko wayno football leagues kibaruji African movies telenovela cartoons e goɗɗi tikoɗa men o no weeɓi ha no fewi ujunaji 250 tan jobata bandiraɓe kala caɗele ɗe keɓɗon ko minen garata min fewnano on ha moƴƴa tami min kokkon lewru mo ganduɗa on jobata kadi kono so on lewru yewti mon kumiso yobde 1.5 e bus sappo lewru foof oɗon mbawi hebde décoder men ndi to escaf Gambia Hendon Court Building to Dream Park Senegambia wonno walla kadi oɗon mbawi noddude men e 4461060 walla 4461061 mbimi bandiraɓam so tawi koye escaf DTT décoder o joguiɗon aduna o foof woni koye nder juuɗe mon
ni ngeen di seetaane télévision mu ngi waaja soppeeku bu baax escaf Gambia ñoo indi DTT decoder yu bees di ngeen ci am GRTS QTV Star TV Paradise TV ak MTA te doo fay dara DTT decoder yi ñaari junni ak $40 rek la mooy jar teg ci dinañ la may lu toll ci benn weer di nga seetaan yeneen channel si biir àddina si te doo fay benn xaalis waaye boo bëggee continuer seetaan lu weesu $50 channel da nga war a subscribe maanaam weer bu nekk di nga $50 rek nga seetaan football leagues yépp si àddina si news African music telenovela film yu neex music cartoon pour xale yi ak yeneeni channel kon nag gaaw leen na gaaw jënd DTT decoder sa escaf showroom ba ca Senegambia fi Dream Park nekkoon mbaa seeni agents yu nekk ci biir réew mi call leen 446-1060 446-1061 ak DTT decoder àddina bi mu ngi si sa cati loxo yi
Mira, My name is Babukar Ikamara. I'm from Gunju. Started poultry farming in 2016. I then named my poultry after myself and my mother, which we both have B as the starting of our names. So I then named my poultry after Best Choice Poultry Farm. The reason why I start poultry farming is as a result of seeing other young people doing something great for themselves and also for their country, employing other young people and giving them a hope that actually motivated me quite a lot to also do something in my country in terms of food self-sufficiency. Currently, I am working with 2 people. Those are employed on the poultry side, and they work constantly. So whether I'm here or not, the poultry is running. Initially, I had a lot of passion to further my education and have my degrees in the areas that I studied, which is business. With this, when I started with the first batch in 2016, that was 33 small chicks of broilers. Then that 33, I started with them in my personal bedroom. I raised them in my bedroom and I slept in the parlor, and I still have memorable pictures of all those things. And after that, I sold the entire batch with the 33, so I got like almost some couple of thousand. And by then, I had a half scholarship to one of the Asian countries in Indonesia to study business and administration. The dream was halfway through. I got the visa and to travel. I couldn't have a ticket. I struggled quite a lot. I couldn't have it. So I said, well, that might not be my destiny. So I have to drop that and then continue with the poultry farming. So I then tried to raise some capital and get some more chickens and then brought them up, sell them, multiply. This thing get growing. Really, I'm enjoying what I do. So now poultry farming becomes part of my life. Then the second phase of my story was the time I started building a house for them. I then started making some mud blocks. I couldn't even pay people. I have to mobilize a resource from my own house, and I get help there. And then we then built a small mud house which is 4 by 4 meters. The first house is still there. I use it as my museum or historic house. So now I have a couple of guinea fowls in there. Just renovate the house a little bit and put a run there for the guinea fowls to actually walk in when they leave the house. My first market is my family. Then the secondary one is the neighborhood. They also buy. I'm not doing much saving. I'm doing a very little saving as I'm doing profit plowback. When I have little profit, then I reinvest it into the business. I could do more. I believe I could do a lot because the knowledge is there, the know-how is there, and the willingness is there. But then the capacity in terms of financial aspect of it is the problem. But then I wanted to start everything, and whatever comes would actually follow. So if you want to consume fresh, if you want to eat healthy foods, you have to consume or buy locally.
Mande ati kodi di go ba for the